Hi there, welcome to EngVid. Today we are looking at how to maximize your points on IELTS speaking tests, in particular 1 and 3. I'm going to be giving you some very valuable tips for how to make the most and how to do your very best in these tests. So, what do you need to do? You need to answer with a little bit more detail. You need to extend your answers a little bit, okay? Answer the question that they ask. Okay, it doesn't matter if you prepare something and if they answer a question that your answer is no good for, drop it. You have to make an effort to answer their question. Now today we're going to be looking at using some relative pronouns and some relative adverbs to lengthen out your sentences a little bit. Okay? So extending your answers, answering the question. As you may be aware, IELTS Speaking Test 1 and 3, they're particularly looking for you to give information about yourself, to tell people about yourself. Okay? So I'm saying that these pronouns and adverbs are going to be particularly helpful. So these pronouns you put in the middle of sentences to continue the sentence and give a bit more information. So you'd use who to describe people. The person I met who is a shopkeeper. The person I went to school who is now a famous movie star. Okay? So who, when you're giving more information about a person, okay, who's doing something, who's the subject. Okay? You can also use whom, but it's not so common. Whom would be the indirect version of this, someone who's not doing something. Now, you'd use that when you're describing things, okay? I went to Bath on Saturday. That was a fantastic place to visit, okay? So I'm describing the activity of going to a place, okay? Bath itself, okay, so it's a proper noun. Which I can throw in there when I want to also describe things in a sort of non-defining clause sense. The film which I saw on Saturday was really good, okay? You can get some more information on this on another one of our videos. Whose, when I'm describing a possession, the car I drove, whose owner was Charlie, okay? So I'm describing an element of possession, okay? Now, looking onto the relative adverbs, I can use when I'm talking about times. I went to school when I was aged 13 to 18. Yeah? I can use where when I'm talking about the place that something happened. So I went to the Actors' Temple where I learned a lot about acting. Okay, so giving more information about that particular place. And I can use why. Why normally results in a question. It's difficult to include why and then end in a full stop. So you could say, I decided to cross the road today. Why do you think that is? Well, I went to go and buy some food. Now, I'm going to put some examples here and just show you, how we can use these. I went to school with Charlie, who, okay, so now the next bit gives more information about a person, okay? The man who helped me pass my driving test, who, so I'm giving even more information about this person. Well, he lives in a place in the north of England. I enjoyed I played football at school, which was fun. So which there is talking about, the activity as I mentioned here. And the teacher whose expertise, so I'm talking about the skill that that teacher had, possessive, okay? The teacher whose expertise helped me pass my exam. Now, I hope I've shed a little light. I know some of these might be unfamiliar to you. Should we just have a quick recap of this? So I'm going to use who when I'm describing people. The person I went to school with, who is now doing well. The person I met at the shop, who was a very nice person. Okay? So these are kind of small little chunks that you kind of put onto the end of the sentence. Yeah? The place that I went today was really great. So that I went today is the extra bit of information. Which, the sandwich which I had at lunch was really good. So had at lunch is that little bit more information. The car, whose owner I really like, okay, was very good to drive. So if you've got a sentence, you're putting in a little bit more information here and then finishing it here, okay? The car, whose owner I really like, drives fast, okay? So you'd separate it with 2 commas. Now, don't worry if you're a little bit confused by this, because you can now refer to a very clear quiz that I've created on EngVid.com that should test you with these key words and make sure that you've really cemented made certain of these words for yourself. So please now go to the EngVid.com website and check out the quiz if you're not already there. And hopefully my answers will make all this a little bit more clear for you. Do feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'd love you also to check out my Exquisite English page. Thank you for watching today, and I just hope that using these key little words will help you give that extra bit more information. Well done. Goodbye.